So Matt, this is where you've got your couch grass trial. Are you able to sort of just give us an overview of what this area is like as an environmental point of view?
So this area here, it's a pretty intensively used piece of grass. So it's actually the marshalling area for all of our larger scale athletics meets. So it does get a lot of usage. For instance, 2 weekends ago, we had 2,500 kids across this area, plus adults who were the officials on the day, with a lot of tents and crowd control barriers and things like that. So a lot of intense usage, a lot of foot traffic, and it certainly is intensified when the weather is wet. And as typical of Queensland, we can get quite wet this time of year, so we've had some stresses in that area.
So looking around, you've got sort of the back end of the stadium, you've got some trees around, bits and pieces. So does this area get, all different kinds of sunlight issues or?
Yeah, so when we were looking for an area to do the trial, we wanted an area that was pretty open, but also an area that has some challenges. And this area where we're standing, as you can tell, Aaron, it is quite moist at the moment. We have got a fair bit of rain overnight. This area does hold a lot of moisture. In winter time last year particularly, we had a lot of disease run through here. We get baked by the sun, and also gets pretty heavily shaded during the winter months. So all in all, it's a pretty good area for a trial, and I think over the 12-month period we'll have some pretty cool data to have a look at and some take-out messages. So
how is this area maintained at the moment?
Yeah, so this area is maintained pretty much mirroring what we do on our sports fields. So it's mowed anywhere between 3 to 5 times a week, depending on the time of year, the growth rate. We liquid feed every week, and we have the same IPM program on this particular trial area as we do on the 2 sports fields. So you could say it is pretty intensively managed, but yeah, we throw a lot at it to see what it can sort of handle. So.
Is that maintenance now different to what you did in this area before?
Prior to this area being a trial site, we would only mow it sort of twice a week with a 3100, not catch the clippings. We would fertilise it once a month with a liquid feed and granular feed every sort of 3 to 6 months, depending on what time of year, what the pressures were, and minimal IPM. So yeah, like I said, now it's pretty intensively managed.
Have you done any renovations through here since the trial's been down?
So yesterday actually ran the aerator through here, just because we knew we were going to get some rain last night. And that was actually part of our program anyway. We've got a monthly program of aerating. So we haven't done any any hollow tining on this area just yet. We've just done some scarifying and solid tining, and top dressing as well. So we're due to top dress again next week.
Is this area fully irrigated as normal?
This area is fully irrigated, so it's all links to our central control system. Yeah, which is really handy. So we did have to tweak some of the sprinklers that were in here just to make the uniformity better, but all in all, it's pretty good.
This was a general area before. What
Yep.
process did you need to go through to get it ready for the trial?
After we'd strung the area out, we then applied a knockdown herbicide 4 times in a 6-week period prior to excavating the area out. We excavated to a depth of 80 millimetres, and then we brought in 80 or 70 millimetres of fresh sand over the whole site, and then laid the turf. So we had the design done up basically for all the different grasses. With the grasses, there's 7 varieties replicated 4 times, so 28 individual plots, and each grass is in a different spot in a randomised location in the trial. All the grass was supplied in turf rolls, which we laid all in-house. Some of the grasses came in condition better than others from some of the different turf suppliers, which was challenging. Some of the grasses didn't really like being laid, sort of fell apart, which is a big challenge. We did our best to sort of get it back and level. In 6 weeks we had a full cover of grass across them all that all sort of filled in. So this is plot number 1. So this is wintergreen couch. So this is actually what we have on our 2 main sports fields. It's widely distributed throughout southeast Queensland. A lot of people know it, a lot of people love it. Personally, I think it's a great grass, but the reason for this trial comes about from, we're wanting to stay at the top of our game in terms of what's out there, and if we do go to resurface the venue, one of the fields in a year, 2 years' time, 3 years' time, whatever the case may be, we want to make sure we're making the best decision for the venue. I don't want to just keep sticking to that same grass just because. If we do our own independent trial, we should be able to figure that out. So grass number 2, this is Agri Dark. Obviously really nice dark green colour. A lot finer than the existing wintergreen that we have over there. Personally, I've never worked with Agri Dark before, and I've been really interested in how it performed. I've been suitably impressed. Being a grass that's bred in New Zealand, it certainly has some challenges in this environment. It dries out a lot quicker than some of the other grasses, but through some stringent watering practices, you know, we've been able to get it looking pretty good. Grass number 3 is Santa Ana. So it's a grass I'm really familiar with, being from Melbourne. Resurfaced quite a number of sporting facilities in Melbourne in my time, and yeah, so this grass actually came up from Melbourne specifically for this trial. A few people in the industry up here question why I would include this grass, because it's not widely distributed up here at all. And I was just really keen to see how it performs, and so far suitably impressed. Really keen to see how we handle the winter traffic when we do overseed them and see what happens. Grass number 4 is Peter McMorr's reselected wintergreen. From what I've seen so far, it's a coarser grass than the existing wintergreen that we have here, which is quite interesting. So one of the things to note is it has taken a fair bit longer to establish than the existing wintergreen. We're only 5 months into this trial, so it's still a long way to go yet. Grass number 5 is also it's another hybrid cooch. So this one is Tiff Tuff. Now Tiff Tuff, a lot of people are interested in. It's a grass that a lot of people have, putting in their home lawns, on their stadiums and amenity areas, and yeah, really keen to have a look at it and see how it handles the rigours of a stadium and elite sport environment. So far all going really well. Grass number 6 is a grass called Star Express. Again, this one is from Peter McMorr also. And this grass has actually done really well in the US trials. So really keen to see it in a warm climate such as Brisbane. The grass number 7 is Legend Cooch, one of the older varieties in the trial now. Some of the stadiums in Queensland use this grass, so I was really keen to see how it would go in a different setting here, see how it goes over the 12 months.